The voices are louder today, their tone tinged with a sense of caution that's hard to ignore.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky, this one. The character in Psychosis is really the voice inside Van Aarle's brain. He serves as the narrator of the story, but sometimes he talks to Van Aarle.
Perhaps the caffeine is affecting him more today.
Yeah, that's very convoluted when you think about it that way, that you're actually playing a character within a character who is also playing somewhat against that character. So it's almost like there's two different compartments in his mind, one of which is orderly and sensible and knows what's going to happen, understands what the consequences are of doing things. Whereas the Van Aarle we see mostly on the screen is not like that. I like the idea, it's an original idea for the film, and it's not using one of the conventional tropes that most films use, so that attracted me.
I wanted to go away from the gruff, I went into the bar and I went to the bartender. I think is too specific to a genre. I wanted to do something that was a little bit more unique. And I'm a big fan of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy radio play, which has the voice of Peter Jones as the book. It was a little bit like a documentary, it was a little bit like a comedy. But I also was a little bit inspired by Alan Watts, the philosopher. And he's kind of got a very soothing, metaphysical kind of presence that sort of feels otherworldly and is kind of like a voice coming from a higher place to explain complex concepts. And I just thought that tone really fit. Sometimes he's a bit more serious, sometimes he's a bit more comedic, but he's always kind of just a little bit off, like he doesn't quite fit.
The comedy comes from the fact that the narrator is more constant and consistent and sensible and straight, whereas Van Aarle's all over the shop. And I think that a lot of the comedy comes from that and his resistance at times to being told what to do and, arguing the toss about things.
What's going on?
Nobody gives an adequate answer.
Shut up!
He yells at his own mind.
Just go home.
Lindsay Dunn nailed it. It was exactly what I wanted. So I'm really glad to hear a few people come back and say my favourite part of the film was the narrator. He was great. He had some of the best laughs come from him. And I was like, yes.